What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So by the time this video goes live, it should be Christmas Eve. So that being said, Merry Christmas to all of you guys, and fingers crossed you get a lot of presents, okay? And most importantly, ones that you actually requested. But now moving on into this video. Now I want to talk about something rather interesting, as apparently my point is completely invalid, okay? And all I want to do is talk negative about this Marvel's Avengers game, which is a very, very interesting thing to see, okay? Because like people are writing detailed things about my comments and stuff that you guys may know what I'm talking about, or you may not, but we're gonna, clear all this up in a second. But to begin with, I definitely do not want to talk negative about this game, as I have really, really high expectations. Now before I do continue any further into this video, I have a really, really good announcement to make, and that is that we are now officially sponsored by Instant Gaming, where originally you can just save a bunch of money, okay? That is a real great thing with these guys, but on top of that, with it being the month of Christmas, we are doing something really, really cool. Now, if you do want to find out more, then visit the links in the description below, but to give you guys a little insight of what is going on with the Christmas season, of course, you have to go ahead and tell me the game of your choice, okay? Visit the link in the description below, tell me the game of your choice, and just enter into the competition, because one of you guys will be winning that game of your choice. Now, on top of that, between when we announce, but we have got to be honest, right, and talk about the bad points, as it just don't make sense to praise a game so much, right? And especially the sooner you come to a realization that there is problems, it's just great to talk about it as a community. Otherwise, things like this honestly could make a big difference to how well a game does, essentially, and also it helps the devs. In my personal opinion, from personal previous experience, I can definitely say that it is a legit thing that devs do look at community feedback and so forth, and if no one's really voicing out the obvious, then it just doesn't make sense, because overall the common sense thing that happens is they don't know what the problems are, and then they release the game, and then everyone trashes the game after that, and then the game's basically done. You can never kind of revive it until you bring out a brand new game. Now, the other day I left a poll for you guys to vote on whether or not you think this game should be delayed due to the marketing. Now, it got a whopping 5,000 votes, I think over 5,000 votes, and 57% of you guys saying that it actually should be delayed. Now, the reason I decided it will be a good idea to talk about this further is because I saw one of you guys do a post of me talking about this previously with the picture of Thanos in my community tab, and you guys put it on Reddit, and it was kind of doing well, and a lot of people were engaging in that. Now, this is where things get interesting. Now, usually nobody agrees with me, okay? Literally, when it goes to Reddit, no one technically agrees with me, and it's always just slamming me for something, okay? But on this post, a lot of you guys actually said that my point was valid and a genuine concern, and then there were a bunch of more guys saying what I'm saying is purely for attention and makes zero sense, as the game not having good marketing does not mean it will be good. I don't know how people figure this out, but starting from the beginning, the sad truth is, right, no matter how great a game looks, or whatever you wish to say, your perfect game, right, no matter how great it looks, what features it have, without marketing, okay, unfortunately it just won't do well. Now, to add to this, I said I'm expecting some crazy marketing from January onwards, and the reason I said that, and this was where I guess a big argument and debate began, is because there's only 5 months left from that point on. Now, you really have to take that into consideration, right? January, 5 months left to a game's release. Up until right now, we haven't really heard anything about the game in detail, right? I mean, sure, the most greatest video we've had overall for the game is literally the Marvel's Avengers overview video, which showed, of course, different costumes, slight bits of new gameplay, etc, etc, but besides that, we never got anything besides A-Day. That was basically being recycled, and then on top of that, when they do release news, it basically just goes in a standstill after that. Literally, the game just vanishes from the radar, and there is zero said about the game until month, or I don't know, however many days later, right? The point is, there's too much of a drought for the game. That's probably a good way to put it. Now, I'll give you a very, very prime example, okay? And I have mentioned this before. I will say to you right now, and if you're a developer, that works at Crystal Dynamics, that's working on this game, honestly, from, a fan's perspective, okay, someone who is not making this game, nor has never ever made a game, nor has any idea, how to make a game, from a consumer's point of view, I would genuinely like the game to be delayed, for it to be more polished, and for them to really build the hype up for the game, because it's such a big game, it has so much potential, and it would suck, right, to see it just go completely down the drain because it's being rushed with marketing, it's got the wrong type of marketing. A good example would be giving a game early access to loads of YouTubers, right, before its release date. That stuff doesn't work anymore. That will literally make a game not perform as well, because you basically hear so much about the game, you kind of put all the negatives about the game, and you're like, hey, do you know what, I'm not even going to purchase this game, nor do I really want to see any more of this game before the game's even released. And it's a shame, because I've seen so many great studios and great games go through that cycle, and then it just basically ends up in the bin, and there is literally nothing ever said more about that topic ever again until they come out with a new game. Now, like I said, I read your comments, okay, because comments are very, very important, and just to pick up a few of them, first of all, we've had 2 recent interviews. We've had one with the lead creative director, Sean, again about the Avengers game. Then there's a character profile for Iron Man, but the sad truth on that is, it's basically just a load of recycled information that is just getting repetitive, that we keep on hearing over and over again, and it really is frustrating. Now, like I said, taking your feedback right on my comments, I see a lot of people made some really valid ones. For example, we had one that said Titanfall was actually one of the best shooter games that didn't earn as much because A, there was barely any marketing, and of course B, it was released a week after Battlefield 1, so yes, what I was saying is a valid concern. And then another person said, it's a very, very valid point, and not stupid at all. By no means will poor marketing be the only thing that breaks a game, but if there's a lack of advertisements and awareness and hype, then sales will be much lower than anticipated and can result in the game losing support earlier than planned. Now, this person said that they don't know how it works behind the scenes, like myself, but they would, presume that it would be Square Enix at the head, then Crystal Dynamics actually developing it, and either a third party doing advertisements on Square Enix overseeing that too, and then the actual development and quality of the game in theory should not be impacted by now how hard they go in marketing, because the game, due to Crystal Dynamics being largely separate to, of course, a marketing team. So, to really round this off, I think, to sound, not rude at all, right, but if you genuinely think that marketing, that this game doesn't need marketing and that marketing is not going to make a difference for this game, then unfortunately you're gonna see something wrong happen, I guess, and it is just pretty much as simple as that, and that's what I really, really don't want to see, and that's why I really want the game to be delayed. Unless, January, I'll be honest with you, for me, is the big decision maker. In January, if they don't pump out quite a few things about the game on what they've been hiding now since E3, besides A-Day and all the other stuff, then basically, yes, delay the game, because it's just not going to really have that oomph behind it, not that hype behind it, and you need good marketing. So I don't want to hear, I'm saying nonsense delaying the game for marketing, because I can guarantee you if they stay the way they are, it's just not going to do well. But again, I don't see it behind the scenes, so for all I know, I don't want to be negative, because I definitely support these guys 100% every single step of the way. But like I said, if we have a voice and we have a platform to share that, I couldn't see why we wouldn't do that to actually help the developers. Just because you point out downsides to the process of a big game in the process, it's not a bad thing. It has to be criticized in order for them to have a game that's going to do well. And I'll mention it over and over again, Spider-Man, it was a single player game. It absolutely smashed records. Don't let this game destroy that, I guess that trail, because it would just be very, very disappointing to see. Now, January, again, I'm expected to see a lot of stuff. We have the beta as well. We don't know when that's going to happen. But after January, if we're still in the same position, just let it sink in, right? That time is running very, very short. If we're in January, same position. I mean, come on, how are they going to shove all of the information to get you hyped up, right, for the game that releases in May? I mean, it's simple math, it's simple knowledge, and there's so many games in the past that have had that experience. It's a brand new game as well. Take that into consideration. If it wasn't a brand new game, then sure, like if Spider-Man 2 comes out now on the PlayStation 5, it naturally will have big hype behind it, maybe without marketing at all, for example. But when it's a brand new game, it will literally go down the drain. But guys, again, that's my opinion. You leave your thoughts in the comment section below, because that is going to wrap up this video here. So as always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day / Christmas / Xmas whenever you're reading this or watching this, should I say. And again, this is not negativity, this is just addressing issues that a lot of us are agreeing on, and hopefully for the developers to take our feedback into consideration and make a smart move. But I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.